Nana said, "Mama Abir, I'm not ready to have this baby. Can you help me?" Mama Abir looked at her kindly but seriously and said, "My dear, it's too late to end the pregnancy safely. It could be very dangerous for you," Mama Abir said. Nana's heart sank. She didn't know what to do. But then Mama Abir said something that surprised her. "If you don't want the baby, you can give it away after it's born. There are people who would pay a lot of money for a healthy child." Once upon a time in a faraway village, there lived a girl named Nana. She was very beautiful and had a kind heart that made everyone love her. She was always kind and helpful, making people smile wherever she went. Nana's father was a poor farmer who worked hard in the fields every day, trying to grow enough food for his family. Nana's mother was a trader who sold small items in the market, doing her best to provide for them. Even though they didn't have much, Nana's family had what they needed. They were happy and loved each other very much. Nana also had a few close friends, and together they walked to school every day. Nana was very smart. She always listened to her teachers and studied hard. Because of this, she was always at the top of her class. Every week, the head teacher would smile at her and say, "Nana, you are the best in the whole school." Then he would give her a small gift, like a shiny pencil or a little book. Nana felt proud and happy because she knew she was also making her parents proud. The villagers all knew and loved Nana. They would say, "Nana is a good girl. She's going to do great things one day." Nana would smile and dream of a bright future. As she grew older and entered her final year of school, Nana became very close to a girl named Bola. Bola wasn't as smart as Nana, and she wasn't as pretty either, but Bola had a way of doing things differently, and sometimes not in a good way. The other girls in the village noticed this and often warned Nana, saying, "Nana, be careful with Bola. She doesn't always make good choices." But Nana didn't listen. She liked Bola and wanted to stay her friend. One day, Nana went to school on an empty stomach. There was no food at home, and her parents had nothing to give her. She felt very hungry and sad. But when she arrived at school, she saw Bola carrying 2 plates of food. Bola smiled and said, "Nana, I brought this for you. I made it just for my special friend." Nana was surprised and very thankful. "Thank you so much, Bola," she said. They sat down and ate together. From that day on, their friendship grew even stronger. Nana felt grateful to have a friend like Bola, who was there for her when she needed help. Even though Bola wasn't always a good influence and sometimes made the wrong choices, Nana kept working hard and continued to do well in school. She still listened to her teachers and studied hard. Nana believed that as long as she stayed true to herself, everything would be okay. After Nana and Bola finished school, they spent a lot of time together. They would walk through the village, visit the market, and talk about everything. Nana noticed that Bola always had nice clothes, pretty jewelry, and other things Nana couldn't afford. This made her curious. One day Nana asked, "Bola, how do you get all these nice things? Where does the money come from?" Bola smiled and said, "It's from a man named Kunnel. He gives me money and buys me gifts." Nana frowned. "But why would he do that? What do you do for him?" Bola looked around to make sure no one was listening. Then she whispered, "I sleep with Kunnel, and he gives me money. It's easy, and I get whatever I want." Nana was shocked. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. "But Bola, what if you get pregnant? Aren't you scared?" Bola shook her head and laughed. "Don't worry, Nana. I know how to handle that. I won't get pregnant. There's nothing to be afraid of." Nana felt confused and worried. Nana had never thought about doing something like that, but Bola made it sound so simple and easy. Nana didn't know what to think, but she trusted her friend. Bola seemed so confident, and Nana didn't want to lose her friendship, so she stayed quiet and continued to follow Bola's lead, even though deep inside, she felt something wasn't right. One bright morning, Nana was on her way to Bola's house when she met a man named Bakery. Bakery was young, handsome, and well known in the village. He was a palm wine tapper and owned a big farm where he made the sweetest palm wine anyone had ever tasted. Bakery was not only hard-working, but also very kind. As they talked, Bakery looked at Nana and smiled. He liked her gentle nature and her beauty. before they parted ways. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. Inside was a pair of beautiful earrings. He handed them to Nana and said, "These are for you, Nana. I hope they bring a smile to your face." Nana was surprised and happy. "Thank you, Bakery. They are so beautiful," she said. Her eyes shone with gratitude. From that day on, Nana began meeting Bakery every day. They would talk, laugh, and sometimes walk together to his farm. Bakery always made Nana feel special, and she started to look forward to their time together. As the days passed, Nana and Bakery grew closer. One day, in a quiet moment, they ended up sleeping together. Nana felt many emotions at once. She liked Bakery very much, but she also felt unsure about what they had done. Meanwhile, Nana's parents were busy planning her future. They wanted her to learn a skill that would help her in life, so they decided to send her to another village called Baiku. Baiku was known for its training centers and its busy market, and her parents thought it would be the perfect place for Nana to grow. But only a few weeks after being with Bakery, Nana realized something that made her heart sink. She was pregnant. Nervously, she went to Bakery and told him the news, hoping he would stand by her. But instead, Bakery shook his head and said, "No, Nana, I'm not responsible for that. It's not my child." His words were cold, and he turned away from her. Nana felt crushed and alone. The man she thought cared for her had rejected her in her time of need. Now, with a baby on the way, she didn't know what to do. After being rejected by Bakery, Nana felt lost and afraid. Her parents, not knowing about her troubles, sent her off to Baiku village to learn a trade. They wanted her to have a skill that would help her build a good life. Baiku was a large village, famous for its training centers and busy markets. People came from far and wide to learn and trade there. As Nana left her parent home, her heart was filled with mixed emotions. She was excited about learning something new, but deep inside she was very scared about what would happen with her baby. When she arrived in Baiku, Nana stayed with a distant aunt who lived near the market. The aunt was kind and welcomed her warmly into her home. But Nana couldn't stop thinking about the baby growing inside her. She didn't want to have it. She didn't know how she could take care of a baby all by herself. So she decided to visit a midwife in the village. The midwife, Mama Abir, was well known as the person people went to when they needed help with their pregnancies. Nana explained her situation. "Mama Abir, I'm not ready to have this baby. Is there any way you can help me?" Mama Abir looked at Nana with kind but serious eyes. "My dear, it's too late to get rid of the baby safely. It could be very dangerous for you." Nana's heart sank. She didn't know what to do. But then Mama Abir said something that surprised her. "If you don't want the baby, you can sell it after it's born. There are people who would pay a lot of money for a healthy child." Nana was shocked. Sell the baby? But as she thought about it, a new feeling came over her. She could make money from this. Maybe this was the way to solve her problems. She wouldn't have to raise the baby, and she would have money to live on. Nana looked at Mama Abir and nodded. "Okay, I'll do it," she said, feeling a mix of relief and excitement. From that moment, Nana no longer worried about raising the baby. Instead, she focused on the thought of making money. Her mind was not on learning a trade, but on the day her baby would be born. She didn't feel the usual excitement or fears that other mothers might have. She only thought about the money. As the months passed and her belly grew, the time finally came for baby to arrive. Mama Abir, the midwife, was ready. Mama Abir had already found a buyer who wanted a child. When the day came, Nana gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The baby cried loudly, full of life, and Mama Abir placed the little girl in Nana's arms. Nana looked at her daughter and felt nothing. She didn't feel the love or attachment that new mothers usually felt. Instead, she thought about the 500 gold coins and the shiny jewelry waiting for her. After breastfeeding the baby, Nana handed her over to Mama Abir, who took the child to the buyer. The buyer was pleased and gave Nana the promised gold coins and jewelry. Nana looked at the money in her hands and felt excited. She didn't think about the baby she had just sold. All she could think about was how much money she now had. With the coins jingling in her pocket and the jewelry sparkling in her hands, Nana made a decision. This is better than learning a trade, she thought. I can make more money by selling babies. So instead of focusing on her training, Nana planned to get pregnant again. She believed that as long as she kept having babies, she could keep selling them and getting rich. To her, there was nothing wrong with it. It was simply a way to make money quickly. It didn't take long for Nana to get pregnant again, this time with a man named T. He was just another man in the village. When Nana told him she was expecting his baby, he reacted just like Bakery had. T shook his head and said, "That's not my baby, Nana. I don't want anything to do with it." But Nana didn't feel sad or worried. Instead, she felt happy, already thinking about the money she would make from selling this baby too. Without wasting time, she ran to Mama Abier's hut, almost dancing with joy. "Mama Abier, I'm pregnant again," she said. Mama Abier looked at her with concern. "Nana, you must be careful. Selling babies is not something to take lightly. It can lead to regret." But Nana didn't want to hear it. She smiled and replied, "This is a path I've chosen, Mama. I'm going to keep doing this. It's the best way for me to make money." Mama Abier sighed, but Mama Abier knew Nana wouldn't listen, so she helped her through the pregnancy just as she had before. After 9 months, Nana gave birth to a baby boy. He was strong and healthy, crying loudly as he came into the world. But Nana didn't feel the need to hold him or even look at him. She knew the buyers were already waiting outside. Without a second thought, she handed the baby to Mama Abier, who took him straight to the buyers. This time, the payment was even greater. The buyers gave Nana 2,000 gold coins and jewelry that was more beautiful than before. Nana was thrilled. The money was more than she had ever dreamed of. She didn't think about the baby she had just sold, only about the wealth she was gathering. As Nana looked at her growing pile of gold and jewels, she felt powerful. She believed she had found the perfect way to get rich, and nothing else seemed to matter. Nana was determined to continue down this path, no matter what anyone said. Her plan worked even better than she had imagined. She became very rich very quickly. Each time she got pregnant, she sold a baby and collected more gold coins and jewels. The more babies she sold, the richer she became. Soon, Nana was living a life of luxury in Baiku village. She had the finest clothes, the most beautiful jewelry, and anything else she desired. Nana had everything she wanted, but as her wealth grew, so did Mama Abier's concern. One day, Mama Abier sat Nana down and said, "Nana, you must stop selling your babies. They are your future, your own flesh and blood. You can't keep doing this." But Nana only laughed and waved her hand. "Don't worry, Mama Abier. I have many more children inside me. I'll keep making money this way, and nothing will stop me." Nana didn't listen to the warnings. She was too focused on her riches and the easy life she was living. She even sent money and gifts back to her parents in her village, who were amazed by how much she had. Nana's parents didn't know where all the money was coming from, but they were proud of their daughter for doing so well in Baiku village. By the time Nana decided to return to her village, she had sold 10 of her babies. Each sale made her richer and more powerful. She felt on top of the world, believing nothing could ever go wrong. With her bags full of gold and jewels, Nana was ready to go back home and show everyone how successful she had become. She didn't think about the babies she had sold or the warnings she had ignored. All she cared about was the wealth she had gathered and the luxurious life she had built for herself. When Nana finally returned to her village, she looked so different that even her parents didn't recognize her at first. She was dressed in the finest clothes, her skin glowed, and her jewelry sparkled brightly in the sunlight. The villagers gathered around, amazed at how beautiful and rich she had become. "Who is this beautiful woman?" they whispered to one another, unable to believe this was the same Nana who had once left to learn a trade in Baiku. It was Bola, Nana's old friend, who first recognized her. "Nana, is that really you?" Bola shouted, running up to her and hugging her tightly. The villagers were astonished. This was Nana, the girl they all remembered. They celebrated her return with joy and admiration. With all the money she had made, Nana built herself a big, beautiful house. She didn't stop there. She also rebuilt her parents' home, making it grand and comfortable. Her parents were proud, thinking their daughter had truly succeeded in life. Nana now lived alone in her grand house, surrounded by the wealth she had gathered from selling her babies. She enjoyed the luxury and comfort her money brought her, never worrying about anything. The men in the village were captivated by her beauty and success. Many asked her to marry them, hoping to share in her wealth and happiness. But Nana always said, "No, I don't need a husband." She would say this with a smile. Nana was content with her riches and saw no reason to get married. She believed she had everything she needed. She was rich, beautiful, and admired by everyone in the village. To her, life seemed perfect. She never thought about the true cost of her wealth or what the future might hold. But as time passed, Nana's parents began to worry. They saw that she was successful, but she wasn't married. In their hearts, they believed that having a husband and children would bring her true happiness. One day, her mother gently said, "Nana, you have everything, but you are alone. It is important to have a husband and children to complete your joy." Nana thought about her mother's words. Although her riches had always made her happy, she began to wonder if something was missing. Maybe her parents were right. Not long after, Nana met a man named Akin. Akin was also wealthy and came from a respected family in the village. He was kind, handsome, and seemed to truly care for Nana. They spent time together, and before long, Akin proposed. Nana agreed, thinking that marriage would finally make her life complete. Their wedding was a grand affair. The whole village was invited. There was music, dancing, and feasting, and everyone admired how beautiful the couple looked together. Nana felt happy and hopeful as she started this new chapter of her life. But as months turned into years, something troubled her. 2 years had passed, and she still had not become pregnant. Akin's mother, eager for grandchildren, began to pressure her. "Why haven't you given us a child yet, Nana?" "A wife's duty is to bring children into the family," she would say. Nana tried to stay hopeful, but the pressure only grew heavier. One day, Akin's mother could no longer hide her anger. She stormed into their home and shouted, "Nana, you are barren. You cannot stay in this house any longer. My son needs a wife who can give him children." Nana was heartbroken. Nana loved Akin and didn't want to leave him, but his mother's words were final. With tears in her eyes, Nana packed her belongings and left Akin's house. She returned to her own home, feeling empty and alone. The marriage that she thought would bring her happiness had ended in sorrow. Nana realized that all the riches in the world could not fill the emptiness she felt from being unable to have a child. As she sat in her grand house, surrounded by the wealth she had gained, Nana felt a deep sadness. Nana had everything she once thought she wanted, but now she was more alone than ever. After being sent away by Akin's mother, she tried to rebuild her life. She hoped to marry again, thinking that maybe, just maybe, she could still find happiness with another man. But no matter how hard she tried, no man wanted to stay with her, because she could not have children. Word spread quickly through the village, and people began to see Nana differently. They whispered behind her back, and the suitors who once crowded around her now stayed away. Then, one day, out of the blue, Bakery, the very first man who had denied her when she became pregnant, came to her house. His face was serious as he demanded, "Nana, where's my child? The child you were carrying when you left the village?" Nana's heart raced. She didn't want to admit what she had done. So, she lied. "I lost a baby, Bakery. I had a miscarriage." Bakery looked at her, his eyes filled with doubt, but he left without another word. Just when Nana thought the worst was over, 2 more men came knocking on her door on different days, each asking the same question. "Where's my child?" To both of them, Nana gave the same answer. "I lost a baby. I had a miscarriage." But Nana's lies didn't stay hidden for long. A villager who had overheard one of the conversations knew the truth about what Nana had been doing in Baiko village. Without hesitation, they told the men, "Nana didn't lose your babies. She sold them. She's been selling her children to get rich." The men were shocked and furious. The news spread like wildfire through the village. People couldn't believe what they were hearing. The men who had once believed Nana returned to her house, this time with a crowd of angry villagers behind them. "Give us back our children, Nana," they demanded, their voices loud and threatening. "If you don't, we'll burn down your house." Nana stood frozen, fear gripping her heart, the wealth she had gathered, the life she had built. Everything was crumbling around her. The villagers who once admired her now looked at her with disgust and anger. At that moment, Nana realized that her actions had finally caught up with her, and the consequences were more terrible than she had ever imagined. With her heart heavy and her mind full of fear, Nana knew she had no choice but to try to find the children. Nana went back to Baiku village, desperate to undo the wrong she had done. She went straight to Mama Abier's hut, hoping the midwife could help her. Mama Abier saw the sorrow in Nana's eyes and sighed deeply. "Nana, I warned you not to take this path. Now you must face the consequences of your actions. Please, Mama Abier," Nana begged, "help me find the children. I need to bring them back, or the villagers will destroy everything I have." Mama Abier handed her a piece of paper with the names and addresses of the people who had bought the babies. "These are the ones who took your children. But be warned, Nana, many will not be willing to return them. And once you leave, don't ever come back here again." Nana nodded, her heart pounding. She traveled far and wide, knocking on doors and pleading with the families. But her efforts were in vain. Some denied ever knowing her, while others refused to give up the children, saying they were now part of their families. Each rejection cut deeply into Nana's heart. She felt the weight of her choices crushing her spirit. At last, after many fruitless attempts, Nana returned to her village in shame. The villagers were waiting for her, their anger still burning. They no longer cared about her gold or jewels. To them, she was no longer a symbol of success, but a reminder of greed and betrayal. Her parents were devastated by the truth. They regretted ever sending her away without guiding her better. The shame was too heavy for Nana's mother to bear, and she passed away, leaving Nana even more broken and alone. In a final act of repentance, Nana gave away her house and all her riches. But the villagers refused to accept them, not wanting anything gained through such dark deeds. So Nana sold everything and gave the money to the poor. Then, with only a small bag, she left her village, carrying nothing but sorrow and regret. She settled at the edge of the village, far from the luxuries she once knew. She lived alone, spending her days in quiet reflection, haunted by the memories of the children she had sold and the life she could have had. Though she found some peace, the loneliness never left her. She realized too late the terrible mistakes she had made. Nana's story became a lesson for generations. Parents would warn their children, "Remember Nana, who traded her future for gold." Nana had once gained everything she thought she wanted, but in the end, she lost it all because she couldn't see what truly mattered. She spent the rest of her life in solitude, her heart heavy with regret. Sitting by the entrance of the village, she could only hope that her story would warn others not to follow the same path. Nana finally understood that true wealth is not found in gold or jewels, but in love, family, and life itself, the very thing she had thrown away.